Welcome to the Pharmacist RN, a podcast made for pharmacists by pharmacists. Pull up a seat and let's get started.
Welcome back, everyone, for another episode of the Pharmacist RN podcast. My name is Ajit Johal from Vancouver, BC. I'm the co-host for this podcast, and I'm joined by my colleague, Dr. John Papastergiou. John.
Yeah, we're live here at Pharmacist, the conference. It's been a pretty eventful day so far. We're getting a lot of people stopping by from all walks of life, different areas of practice. And we have our first, I guess, vendor kind of participant, visiting Pharmacist, I guess. So I think it's important to get the perspectives of people that come to Pharmacist as well, right? Yeah, so maybe you want to introduce yourself, tell the audience a little bit about what you think so far.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. For the audience who don't know me, this is Fari. I'm a pharmacist holding a PharmD. I've started in the pharmacy, but I've taken probably a bit of an unconventional pathway moving into...
We like unconventional.
Yeah, we do a lot of unconventional things.
Okay, that's good. And with a passion to translate science into strategy, I've moved into more like a strategic roles with capturing both audience of HCP and DTC. Here am I today. I'm with Seaford Pharmaceuticals at the moment, and it's really interesting to sort of closely observe how the ever-expanding role of pharmacists are evolving across Canada.
Yeah, it's, we've talked a lot about the evolving scope, and it's definitely a hot topic here at Pharmacist. So is this your first Pharmacist, or have you been here?
Well, no, it's been a couple of times, actually.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Toronto, or have you been to some of the other ones?
It's been Toronto only, but we're hoping to go to Montreal and Vancouver hopefully next time. Yeah.
So what's your feel so far about this year? I think it's a good vibe. Eh?
Yeah, it's been great. There's a lot of enthusiastic pharmacists, and there's a lot of good conversations happening about all these different therapeutic lines, and there's been really fruitful conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, do you get a chance to go to some of the talks, or are you kind of in the trade show most of the time?
Unfortunately this round I did not get a chance to, yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing, Ajit. It's like for the vendors, I always think they're like kind of stuck in the vendor hall the whole day. They don't really get to get the sessions, right?
Yeah,
It'd be good for them to get the sessions, though.
Yeah, I think so, because it gives you some perspective into what kind of is interesting to pharmacists, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I usually try to do, but it unfortunately did not happen this time. That's definitely going to be insightful.
Well, this is the thing. The vendor hall with 1,000 delegates is pretty rammed, too. It keeps the sponsors pretty busy, too. So what do you do at Seaford there?
Well, what is really close to me in my current world, if I may say, it's anemia.
Okay.
And I'm pretty focused on managing ID and IDA. Okay. And with the support of Seaford Pharmaceuticals, we did launch a national campaign, Ironville, a couple of years ago now, which was aiming at educating and raising awareness across Canada. And it was government funded with a really comprehensive iron deficiency portfolio with names like Hemofort, Polyride, and Polyride Ultra. We did manage to raise awareness and increase the education rate across Canada, which was really one of its kind, and it continues to grow today as well. And actually, it might be interesting to touch base on how it is being approached today in the practice, right? Because it is constantly expected to do more from pharmacists, and with the system that has not caught up yet. And when it comes to topics like anemia, it might get overlooked somehow. It's not sort of that simplified of a topic. So I would like to get your thoughts around that too. How is it being approached or managed in the pharmacy
I was
setting?
just going to say to Ajay, it's funny because anemia is one of those things, patients that have it really struggle with it, getting it under control. And I'm not sure how serious, like pharmacists, healthcare professionals think of as anemia. You know what I mean? It's something like we try to manage, but I don't know. I find patients really struggle with it. I don't know if you've seen it in your practice.
Yeah, I think anytime a patient says that they're anemic, obviously you want to make sure that they're not losing blood somewhere where they shouldn't. And then if they have a differential diagnosis of iron deficiency anemia, then it becomes to what supplement do we give them? Like what are they going to tolerate? What actually is effective? And for the past 15 years, it's been give this with vitamin C to boost it, right? And then it's then you have the more, like you were saying, the poly.
Yeah.
So honestly, I like to think I'm clinically savvy, but
Yeah, this is
really
one of those
wouldn't know
areas.
what to
This is one of those areas. There isn't a ton of education in it.
No.
Pharmacists are expected to manage it, and there's new products all the time, kind of behind the counter or whatever. And I don't think, I think there's an opportunity in this space, to be honest.
And I think the main symptom of anemia is low energy, weakness, and that's poor quality of life, poor productivity. So, it's a big issue. Do you have any statistics on the percentage of Canadians that suffer from IDA or? Sorry, putting you on the spot.
You have it memorized.
Yeah, no, all good. It's around 3 million.
Oh, wow.
Ish.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot. The thing is, in the practice as pharmacists, we are facing with patients who are educated, very well educated, with the help of AI and all these different tools that is at their fingertips, right? And then it's not always about taking more supplements. And what concerns me the most is that there are sometimes underlying causes, right? Say inflammation, a very hot topic like insulin resistant patients, right? It causes inflammation. It impacts their hepcidin level, and consequently no matter how much of iron they're gonna take, it's not gonna get absorbed to their body, right? So it really requires a deeper dive when it comes to counseling patients at the pharmacy, which is really sort of under question because we as pharmacists only have so much time in the practice, right? And there is obviously an opportunity there.
Yeah, I think so for sure. And I think it's because this is very product driven too. You've got the options. How many pharmacists are aware of the differences, what differentiates one product from the other? I mean, unless it's coming from pharma, I don't know if they're taking the time to dive into it themselves. I don't know if you think any different, but...
No, and I think you brought up a good point about the differential diagnosis, right? There's a lot of, it's almost like internal medicine, right?
Yeah.
A lot of, how many times does a GP refer to internal medicine or a hematologist?
Yeah.
That's...
Yeah, it's not the simplest topic.
It's almost like you need a course on it.
Yeah, really, absolutely.
Modules and stuff like that, yeah.
Well, while we're on this topic, a question comes to my head. I guess I put forward a unique perspective because I've been on both sides of the industry more so, in the practice and in the corporate, right? One thing that in corporate life, it's sort of challenging to reach out to get the attention of the pharmacists at the pharmacy.
Oh, yeah.
It's really challenging and it's not easy. Given this example that we are touching base on, how would you think would be best to grab full focus or attention of a pharmacist to sort of have these meaningful conversations going on? It's just that would be $1 million question for me.
We get asked it all the time. I mean, I think historically, we would have, drug reps coming in. Challenge is pharmacies evolve so much that it's such a busy place. You don't really, as a pharma rep, know who you're interacting with. If you go in, there could be part-time pharmacist, relief pharmacist, someone they got off shift post, or it could be the owner of pharmacy. You don't know. And this idea of just dropping in and trying to, educate whoever's there never works anymore. It's just too busy. There's too much going on.
Makes sense.
I still think there's value in making an appointment, getting the right person at the pharmacy, maybe arranging a time to go in and seeing the pharmacy, maybe educating the whole team, like setting it time aside to do that.
Yeah.
The brokers don't work. You get these brokers that come in, they're representing 50 brands.
Oh,
So they come in with flyers. Oh, I'm going to tell you about
That's too much.
Laxidate. I'm going to tell you about, iron. And it's too much. I mean,
It's
no
too
one's
much, yeah.
no one's listening. And then there's all
Definitely.
that paperwork. It all just goes in the garbage, right? So it's
should be
not
focused,
an easy
targeted.
question. I like the historical pharma dinners. I still think you get an audience.
Yeah.
You get a cool speaker like Ajit to come out.
John.
Or self-play, and that.
And I think you'll pull in people who are interested in the topic.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of build it from there. Yeah.
And I know it's expensive, and but I think still there's value in that because pharmacists, you do the virtual educational events. People register, they don't come on because they get home, it's busy, they got kids, dinner, whatever, right? So I still think that works, but it's an investment from pharma, right? So
Absolutely.
but there's no easy answer to this,
Yeah.
and but just drop it into the pharmacies is impossible nowadays.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's a lot of saturation there for sure.
Yeah, it's just too much, right? So, and you're competing with so many different pharma companies that are looking for the pharmacist or pharmacy manager, whoever's time, right?
Absolutely.
So it's they get pulled every which way. So I mean, it's not an easy thing. I've always thought it's a tough job.
It is, and
It is.
I think the one thing I'll add, just as almost like a final comment, is you almost want to make this a clinical service, right? It's not just help the patient pick the right iron supplements.
Yeah.
It's too much of a one-off. But to make it as part of anemia, and we were chatting earlier about pharmacists ordering lab tests, having access to net care. To look at that is part of the whole thing, and checking the chart notes. Yeah, I think that's building it as part of a clinical service.
And really
my suggestion.
managing the problem, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's the secret. But I know we've got a lineup here today. They're packing up.
They are, yes. We gotta go. We gotta go rapid fire now.
Yeah,
yes.
we gotta go one after. But thanks for coming on. We really wanted to get the perspective of someone that we've had a lot of speakers on today, but just what it's like to get to Pharmacy U, kind of what it means to you as a vendor, and it's good to get your insight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It's amazing opportunity to grab a little attention of like all the pharmacists across the city, and it's amazing. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Yeah.